Okay, and it makes a nice little ball that's kid size. So you have to start by turning the sock inside out. Now, here comes the part that's tricky because I'm holding the camera myself. My little iPod Touch here. I'm holding the camera myself because right now I don't have a buddy. So I'm going to have to set it down for just a sec. I'm going to turn the sock inside out and put a scoop of my beans in it. Again, about a quarter to a third of a cup. Now the 1/3 cup measure that I have also has metric on it. That'd be a great opportunity to talk about that too. What does it mean to be a milliliter? Okay, my 1/4 cup measure is the one that has metric on it. A 1/4 of a cup is about 60 milliliters. So you can figure that out. Now I have my sock turned inside out and filled with the beans, and they're going down into the toe part. Okay? Now, next step, I'm going to use a hair elastic. You could use rubber bands, but they don't work as well and they kind of hurt your fingers, especially for kids. Or you can even take a hair elastic that had the metal thingy on it and it broke, and you can just tie it. Doesn't matter, doesn't show, doesn't matter what color they are. So you're going to just take the hair elastic, squeeze this together, wrap it around there to hold it. So now, one more time, I'm going to put the camera down on the scale. And here's my ball. Shake it down to make sure all the beans are in the toe. And then I'm going to wrap this hair elastic, the one that I recycled from a broken one, about 5 or 6 times. You want it good and tight. So I'm pulling it through now the last time. Here we go. Hair elastic around there. And obviously you want to be sure the beans are down in the toe before you tighten it, otherwise they'll fall out. Okay? So you can make that as loose or as dense as you want by how many beans you put in it. So now I have this. It's my little sock with the beans in the toe. Now I have to turn it around inside out. It was to begin with, right? So now I have to turn it right side out. When I turn it right side out, I have that. Okay, now you have to kind of tweak it a little bit, squish it, get it sort of smooth. Again, I think I have to put this camera down just a bit because I need another hand. If you were recording this with a family, how you did this process, it would be great to have a buddy to help hold the camera. But right now, I don't have a camera buddy, so I'm managing. Sometimes we just manage the best we can. Okay, now here's my little sock. I put a small amount of beans in this one, so that meant I have more leftovers here. I could have made this one a little bigger with more beans. And if you decide, oh, I didn't put enough beans in it, or oh, I put too many beans in it, take it apart and fix it. See, it's really simple. You can take it apart and fix it till you get just the right tension, just the right amount of beans for the size of sock. Okay? Now, you have to decide whether it's going to be just a plain ball like this one, in which case, if it's going to be just plain like that, see how there's the inside, that's where the toe was, and it'll be a solid ball because it's double thick. You fold these ends in like that, okay, and kind of make them just meet or just overlap a little bit. And then you'll need some crochet thread, works really great, or any kind of heavy thread. But it should be cotton thread that's easy to tie, stays tied tight, and isn't slippery, isn't hurt your fingers when you tie it. If it's thin, like this is size 30 crochet thread, double it. If you have something heavier, this is some number 10 like knit crocheting, that'll work single, whatever. Thread it through a needle, stitch right through there, tie it in a little knot, and clip it off. And then that will hold that together. And then you turn it this way, and you fold it like this, and do the same thing, but this time you maybe need 3 or 4 stitches. Going through the double thickness or at the top makes it real strong. You're not sewing through just one thickness of sock. You're going through where it's stretchy and double thick, and that'll make it really strong. Depending on the size of the opening, 2 or 3 or 4 stitches. And then that puts you at this point. Now I'm going to put the camera down. I think I'm going to maybe be able to do this with all one recording. It's going to be a little more than 10 minutes maybe. Now we got this much done, and we have to pull it tight. Okay, and then knot it good. See, if you leave it looser, a little bit looser while you're sewing it, it also makes it easier to adjust it. And then you pull up the loops, good and tight. Pull the ends, like so. If you wanted to do this as a lesson in beautiful home sewing, you really could teach some things about sewing and how fine stitches are usable for some things that you can't use coarse stitches for, stuff like that. But this is supposed to be kid fun, and so I didn't do it in a manner that would be really fine finished sewing. And then when you tie the knot, make sure that you tie it good and tight, both ways. You can even use this as an exercise in how to make different kinds of knots, I suppose, depending on the age of the kids you would be working with. When I say you, I'm assuming a parent or caregiver of some sort. But older kids could work with younger kids. This is a great activity for age range, anything up from like about 4 to high school. Never cut it off right on the knot, because you want to leave a little tail to make sure it stays. Sort of tuck that inside, and now it's good to go. And you know what? If you play with it for a while and it comes loose, fix it. It's like recycling. Okay? So there's the basic little form of the ball. Okay? Plain one.